Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So we're going to be doing our Convincing My Bestie to Read series. This is where we convince the other to read in a trope that they don't normally choose for themselves. And this time is Mandy's turn to convince me. So this is where we always test our relationship to see how much we can handle. So what do we got going on today, Mandy?
Well, Jessica, we're going to do reverse age gap. So I know some people don't like the term reverse age gap, but typically in books, the age gap, the man is always significantly older than the woman. Mm-hmm. But reverse age gap would mean the woman is older than the man. And the only reason I feel like reverse age gap is used is just to kind of help everybody understand like what the specific trope is. I don't think it's meant to be offensive or anything like that. It's just helps you understand the trope. So in all of these books, the woman is going to be significantly older than the man. There's going to be some taboo aspects in all of them as well. I love age gap. And usually I shy away from when the woman is older, but lately I have been loving this trope. So hopefully we can find a good one that you will also want to read, Jessica, as well as you subscribers.
Yep.
But before I tell you my wonderful recommendations for this, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're giving away these Calla Read books and you want these. They are fantastic. Go back and check out our interview with Calla Read. And we talk about these books all the time. We love them. So when we get to 1,500 subscribers, we'll give those away. So please hit that subscribe button. We thank you so much for that. And you can follow us on Instagram for an extra entry.
Okay. Yay. All right. So you have 6 recommendations for me.
I do. Okay. Are you ready, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So we're going to start with the book that really got me very excited about the woman being older in the age gap.
Uh-huh.
And that is
The Pool Boy.
Pool Boy by Nikki Sloan. I don't know why I love this book so much, but I do. So okay. We have Troy, who is our pool boy, and we have Erica, who owns the pool.
Who owns the pool? Is that what you said? Erica, yes. Who owns the pool? Nice. Okay.
Okay. So Erica finds out her husband of a significant amount of time has been cheating on her with his boss, but she finds out his boss is a man. So not only is she dealing with this, she's dealing, I mean, it's not just the cheating, like there's this whole other element to it. It really messes with her self-confidence. Okay. So she is dealing with all of this. And one day she decides she's just going to go take a swim and sunbathe without her swimsuit on. She does that. And the pool boy happens to stop by and look at what a good job. Like your husband in our,
yeah, with the other cover.
What?
With the other cover though?
No, it was this cover I think I used, wasn't it? Oh, did I use the other cover? Well, he commented on how the pool boy is doing a very good job because the water looks very clean.
And he's doing a very good job in this cover as well.
So Troy is very dedicated to his pool boy job here. Okay. And he stops by and sees Erica, and he really likes what he sees. And that's where some things start to happen. Meanwhile, Erica's best friend is encouraging her to get back out there and start dating again. Little does she know that Erica has the hots for the pool boy, which is her best friend's son. Okay. Loved the pool boy. It was very, very good. Okay. I actually really enjoy the whole Nashville neighborhood series, except for the architect is a little too weird for me, but that's okay. I still really enjoyed it.
I read The Doctor. That's the only one I've read in that series.
I read The Doctor right after I read Birthday Girl, so I was pretty harsh on it my first time. And then when I reflected, I'm like, no, it was still really good. It's just, it wasn't Birthday Girl.
It wasn't the Birthday Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So next I have Always Meant to Be by Siobhan Davis.
Yep.
Thank goodness. Okay. So we have Kendall, and this seems to be a theme all of a sudden. I didn't realize it was a theme, but Kendall, she has an 18-year-old son, and I think she has like a teenage daughter and a younger son. And her husband, Curtis, has cheated on her a few times, and she thinks he might be cheating again. Her 18-year-old son's best friend is Vander, and Vander is just an older soul. He has not a great home life, so he spends a lot of time at their house, and he's just much more mature and kind of beyond, just that old soul description for him. And they really kind of connect, and he really, really, like, he sees Kindle for who she is and doesn't understand why Curtis doesn't like value this amazing woman that he has. So this is how the book kind of starts off, but it's a very different take on the whole age gap situation, because while that taboo aspect is a part of the book, there's a lot of other stuff that happens in this book. So just throwing that out there. I still really enjoyed it. It's just a little bit different. The focus of the book isn't so much on the taboo aspect of this. I mean, it is a part of it, definitely. But there's another plot happening. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So on to our next one. This is How the Heartbreaks by Stacey Marie Brown. And Emery, her husband dies. I actually cried at the very beginning of this book. Very angsty. Her husband dies, and she's young. She's still in her 20s. Okay. And he passes away, and several years have gone by, and she's just really, really had a hard time moving on. His family doesn't think that she should. Her sister's trying to encourage her to. So she decides the only way she's ever going to move on is to move out of the house and move somewhere else. So she does this. Also going on at this time, her sister's daughter is having a really hard time in school, making bad choices, and just kind of spiraling. So the decision is made for her to go live with Emery and kind of start over as well. So Emery does this, and she meets this older boy who helps out as a football coach assistant type thing. And so he's still, I think he's only 19, but he's out of school, I believe, but he's around the school a lot. So Emery develops this huge crush on Mason and starts bringing him around. But not Emery, I'm sorry, the niece, excuse me. The niece starts bringing him around. But Mason is not interested really in the niece. He is interested in Emery. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Got it.
Next, we have Birthday Boy.
Okay.
Now, this is not like Birthday Girl.
Okay.
Okay. So this is by B. Sobjankin. We really need to figure out if we're saying this person's name wrong or right. Anyways, okay. So Cole turns 18, and he tells his best friend's mom what he wants for his birthday. And that is her.
Okay.
Okay. It is it's a novella, but I threw it in here because I really enjoyed it. I think novellas have a great place in the reading world because sometimes you just want to read a quick book. And so this definitely hits that trope. Okay. Also, I mean, you have the drama, this is his best friend's mom. And again, he doesn't have a great home life, so he spends a ton of time there. So you're going to have Jensen, who's going to feel betrayed by this situation if this carries on and all of that. So lots of drama and angst there, but in a good way, not unnecessary. Okay. Yeah. Then next we have The Wild One by Daisy Jane. So Beau has been spiraling, and he's drinking a lot. His dad passed away. His dad left him some news that really unsettled him on his deathbed, and he doesn't know how to process all this and what to do with it. And so he's been handling it by drinking a lot. And so he is at Wrench King's, which is an automotive place, and that's where his job is. And he's hungover, and he's at the front counter when Beck, which is short for Rebecca, walks in and needs her air conditioning fixed. And Beau is, again, he's super hungover, and he looks at her and tells her to be quiet.
Lovely.
And she does not really appreciate that because, like, she's trying to get her car fixed and she has a lot of stress in her life. And then he tells her to calm down.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And then he throws up everywhere. But this is a turning point for him because he realizes he needs to get his shit together. So he starts to have a turning point. Beck is older. She's like 37, or I don't know if I wrote down her actual age, or 38. She's in her later 30s. She has a baby. And she did not expect this for her life. Her husband left her for someone else and wants nothing to do with her or the kid. And she is pretty devastated by this and is trying to come to terms with like her new reality. So that was their meet cute. And then things kind of keep putting them in each other's space. Bo might orchestrate some of that a little bit. But I really love the change in him as that story unfolds.
Okay.
Okay. And then last but not least, this should be book number 6, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Is The Law of Deceit by Kay Webster. So this is book number 4 in Shameful Secrets. You can read it by itself and still enjoy it, but I highly recommend having read the other books because, one, they're fantastic, but you kind of just, you get to see a lot of the Parks family in this, so it flows a little bit better, I think, if you're familiar with everyone. But Kay Webster does a great job of reminding you who everyone is without it feeling redundant. So if you have not read it, I think you would be just fine. So this is Sloane and Dempsey. Sloane is much older than Dempsey. She is his mom's best friend. So we kind of change it a little bit. Instead of, friends, best friend's mom, it's mom's best friend. So Sloane is a police officer in town. She hasn't really had any relationships and kind of just doesn't really feel like she fits in a lot. Her sister is having a lot of issues and is involved with bad people. And so she ends up taking in her younger teenage nephew. Her older nephew is into drugs and up to no good, which kind of fuels some of the plot here. Well, Dempsey, who's been in love with her for a while, is a little more rebellious, but really I think he's just misunderstood by his dad and his family. And he has had a major crush on Sloane for a long time. And her having this younger teenage boy that she's taking care of kind of helps Dempsey get involved a little bit more. And from there, we kind of see their story take place. So again, really, really enjoyed that one as well. I really enjoyed all of these. I wouldn't give you a rec in here if I didn't enjoy them.
I would hope not.
I would hope, yeah, that would be really messed up on my part. So I don't know why I keep saying I really enjoyed them. Okay, which one of those 6 wonderful age gap romances with the older woman are you going to pick?
I think I'm going to go with the Daisy Jane one. Like, I know I need to go back and read Nikki Sloane. I will at some point. Obviously, Kay Webster already owned that book, so I could do that too. But you've been talking a lot with Daisy Jane, and so I need to read something by her just in case.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do. I need to. I haven't read anything by her. You talk about her quite a bit, so I'm gonna read that.
There is a kink in there.
Okay. I don't mind any kinks.
No, I'm not saying it like as a warning. I'm saying it as a
kink in there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pick up
as an added bonus. Okay. There's a kink in there.
I'm gonna grab that one and we'll see what happens. So
okay.
We'll be back.
Talking about the kink, you'll have to tell me what you think about it. But I personally find that she writes them so well that you don't even realize really that something kinky is really happening. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Interesting. How's this working out? Like it's like that. It's not like, oh, because I don't want to bring any authors to name, but one I'm not going to name her, but one comes to mind where sometimes it feels more shock value and not necessarily driving the plot. And I have read some of her books and I've been here for it, but you kind of have to be in that mindset where in Daisy Jane's, I feel like you can read it and that stuff happens and it's not like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go pick this up, and then we'll be back with my review.
All right, Jessica, tell us what you thought of The Wild One by Daisy Jane.
So this was my very first Daisy Jane. And I'm
nervous.
I was kind of expecting like this wild, smutty ride. But this book was so good, and it wasn't just about it's got some kink in it, right? It's got lactation kink. But the way she writes it, you're just like, well, this is a part of their relationship. Like, this is their thing. And it's not like this crazy, it felt like it was supposed to be this over the top thing, and it wasn't. I loved the baby. I thought she did the baby so well, like on point for age. Like, it wasn't, he wasn't 4 months old and acting like he was 20, that kind of a thing. I love their relationship. I kept forgetting that she was so much older than him too, because their relationship was just so good. It was so good. Yes. I think it's like a 5-star. I loved it. It was so good. I want to read the rest of the series. It was just what I needed as well. Like, it was the perfect kind of, I don't want to call it a palate cleanser because it had some fun kink in it, but it's obviously what I needed. So I wish more of hers were on audio because I want to read more of her books, but this series, these 3 books are on audio. So I was able to listen to it while I was cooking.
I loved it, obviously. So I'm really glad you loved it too.
I did. So definitely looking forward to reading more Daisy Jane.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, before we close, what did you think of their first encounter?
I did laugh. I thought that was pretty funny. There were a few times I kind of snickered in there. I get that he was all hungover, and and you're hearing it from his point of view. I thought I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah,
he's like
so funny because he's like, he has this raging hangover, and like right after this, he throws up all over in the garbage can.
Yes, and I love that. That was what I was laughing at. He was like walking in the back with the garbage can, yakking it up.
Yeah, and she's like trying to talk to him, but he's like just trying to like get the world back into focus. So he's just like trying to tell, like in his mind, he's basically just saying, can you just like be quiet for a second? I need to like figure out like what's happening, like just a second. And but he's like, be quiet.
The other thing that I really loved in this book that I almost forgot to say, she had a pottery studio. And you don't see that a lot. I think I've read one other book, which was one of Grace McGinty's books, where the guy did pottery. And that's something that I did last spring, and then I'm doing that right now. And so to hear about that was a lot of fun. I love my pottery class. In one of my reading groups, there was a joke about, well, did you do the whole Patrick Swayze ghost scene? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, you have to play the music and then you get the ghost scene. So, I mean, those are the kinds of things that I was thinking about while I was reading it. I love that she had a pottery studio and she taught pottery classes, because that's just so much fun. I love that, the just being dirty with clay. So yes. I loved that too.
And then I love how his coworkers, who are his friends, basically get after him. Like, you told her to be quiet and then calm down.
And you said like the 3rd book in this series I'm looking forward to reading, because there's a character in this book who works at the mechanic shop, and she listens to audiobooks, and she listens to romance audiobooks nonstop. And there was a joke made at one point about how he doesn't understand how she can read corn books on repeat with a straight face and still focus on what she's doing. And I was kind of giggling because we do that, right? If you've read romance enough, you can listen to the audio with a straight face when things are getting hot and heavy. He was wondering how she wasn't horny. That's what it was, all the time. And you get it. Like, if you listen to him, you get it. It's just a scene. It's we get through it and you move on. So that was pretty funny. When they referenced that several times, her listening. So I know she's the 3rd book in the series, so I really want to get to her book.
Yes.
Very relatable. Oh, and you have them.
Yes.
Is that the 2nd one or the 3rd one?
I think the brazen one is the 2nd one, and the only one is the 3rd one, but I might have that out of order.
Yeah. So where's your wild one?
This is the brazen one is the 2nd, and this is the 3rd one.
Do you have the 1st one? Do you have the wild one?
I don't. I need to get it.
Well, we're gonna see Daisy Jane in
Vegas.
I'm
I know.
hoping
So
this
I'm
special
like,
edition.
I should, yes, that like, what will she have there that I want to get? And so I've talked about her before. Like, The Other Brother is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Where Violets Bloom is also really good. I just read All My Love, which is also really good. So at this point, I might just end up owning all of her books, and I'll have to keep my fingers crossed that she like writes something like just comes out right before Vegas or something. Or I'll just be one of those people that is like, hey, here's these books. Oh, and I have some more books for you to sign.
So that's it for this time. That was really fun. I appreciated that you had a book that I loved. I think it's awesome.
Yes, that's nice, isn't it?
It is.
All right. Well, make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.